Thank you, Coach Rhodes. I appreciate it. Good evening, coaches. My name is Clint Schumacher from Dallas, Texas, and I last season was the head coach for a fourth grade program that'll be moving up into fifth grade, and was also the offensive and defensive line coach for the eighth grade team at Trinity Christian Academy in Addison, Texas. And I am an offensive lineman. I was when I played, and in my heart and my mind, I still am. I played tackle football, was lucky enough to get to play tackle football from the 1st through the 12th grade. And for 11 seasons, I played center, and for one season, I played right guard. So I am very much an offensive lineman. I love to coach it, and I love the kids that play offensive line. And I do believe that offensive line is where games are won. And I think that having a good offensive line is widely overlooked, particularly in youth programs, and can make the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful season. So tonight, let me share with you what my objectives are for the night. And to do that, I need to start with a brief story. It was in 2002 when Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld was giving a Pentagon briefing, and this was in the period of time that was the lead up to the Gulf War. And Secretary Rumsfeld was asked by the press about his certainty that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. His answer, which was widely lampooned by those who did not understand the game theory reasoning behind it, was as follows. He said, "There are known knowns. That is, there are things that we know. There are known unknowns. In other words, there are things that we know that we do not know." But he said there are also unknown unknowns. There are things we do not know, and we don't even know we don't know them. So my goal tonight, my objective tonight, is on some subject matter, hopefully, to move some of you from unknown unknowns over to known unknowns. In other words, to perhaps expose you to an idea or a concept that you did not yet even know was out there. Perhaps for others of you, we can move from known unknowns, concepts that you knew were out there but don't know much about, over to the known known column, to where you at least feel like you have some degree of familiarity with the subject matter. The one thing we probably can't do tonight, because the format doesn't permit it, is to move you to mastery of any of the subjects that we talk about tonight. Simply spending an hour together in a video clinic does not permit that, particularly as we discuss how to instruct, train, and drill these concepts. But throughout the presentation tonight and at the end, I'm going to give you some resources where I hope I encourage you to dive in and immerse yourself to move further along the mastery scale in these very fundamental concepts that we'll talk about in terms of coaching offensive linemen between the 4th and the 8th grade level. So let me, and tonight you're encouraged to type in questions that you have in the group chat. We'll address those at the end, and I would love it if I could specifically address questions you have, so don't be shy about doing that as we go through the presentation tonight. But let me start with the most important concept, and that's mindset. The biggest, strongest kid in my youngest son's grade, which will be now 4th grade, moving into 5th grade, I'm going to call him Tommy, just in case anybody I know listens to this podcast or to this clinic. And probably all of us have coached someone like Tommy or tried to get someone like Tommy on our football team. Big, strong, sturdy kid, bigger than anybody else in the grade, and moves really well. So for 2 years, I have been talking to Tommy's parents about Tommy playing football. And Tommy has never agreed to play. And one of his objections to playing is he doesn't want to play offensive line. And when I ask him about that, or ask his parents about that, they tell me that they're afraid Tommy would be bored playing the offensive line. And I think that's the case with a lot of kids and with a lot of parents, because the reality is that parents, to the extent they daydream about their son being an athlete, don't daydream with him playing left guard. They daydream him playing in a skill position. And so I think it's imperative as the offensive line coach to develop a mindset. The word "I